It goes without saying that everybody, including George Wachiuri, we have debts. Tuko na deni. But how can we manage these debts? Personally, I will share my own experience on how to manage the debts. Feel free to ask any question. We are here for you. Hashtag Ask Optiven, and we can be able to discuss how you can manage your personal debts. Individuals, organizations, corporates, countries, they have debts. Even our own country, we have a huge debt. But let's go specific. Let's go to individuals. How do you manage personal debts? Somebody is asking me online here, George, how do people incur so many debts? Maybe you may require quick fix. You want to pay a deposit for your mortgage. You decide to borrow from a friend. Or you want to pay a deposit for a car. You want to borrow from a friend or from a financial institutions or from microfinance. And there are many reasons why people incur debts. Other people want to borrow some money and pay rent. But how do you manage all these debts? Other people have got credit cards. Not one, not two, even more cards. Why are you incurring this debt? Determine the reason for the debt. I always tell people, don't borrow debt to pay debt. It becomes cyclical because you are borrowing this debt to pay another. Don't borrow debt to pay debt. Otherwise, you'll be in serious quagmire on how to pay these debts. Number two, how to manage your personal debt. It's important for you to execute the purpose of the debt. You borrowed money from a friend, from a microfinance, from a bank, and then that money you use it for something else. It's important if you're borrowing money to pay a deposit, say for a mortgage. Please, you better do it, because once you execute the debt for the right purpose, you have no regrets, let alone when you're paying these debts. I always advise people, number three, on how to manage personal debt is to ensure that the debt you are incurring has timelines. Don't borrow short-term debt to invest long-term. Because the investment you are incurring in the long term may not be able to pay the short-term debt. So be very careful when you borrow money. For you to manage all these debts, it's important to identify the source of the debt. Unakopa pesa wapi? There are some scenarios whereby people borrow money from Shylocks. Within 30 days, you are supposed to return that money with very high interest. And what happens? You start having depression. You start having stress. So be careful where you borrow the money. Some people have got more than 15 credit cards. They use this credit card to pay another credit card. And this cyclic may not be sustainable. It's important for you to manage that debt. And I give people few tips on how to manage these debts. And if you want to do that, be careful on the usage of the money that you borrow. It's important for you to do what I call simple budgeting. Because if you don't budget from what you earn, I can guarantee you, every time you get your salary, before the end of the month, you are borrowing. You are looking for an advance. So it's important for you to plan so that you don't undertake the borrowing, the journey every other time, every other month, every other year, because borrowing or debt is not sustainable.